Hey guys, Firebolt here, and today I'll be showing you my improved Shulker-based storage system. This is a recreation of my first video that I released on my channel about a year ago. I've decided to do this recreation of my first video because I just recently passed 100 subscribers, and so I thank you all for the support. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so on our road to 200. I have many interesting videos coming up that I'm sure you'll find useful. It took a while to get to this design. It's gone through many iterations, which I may showcase in a future video. How it works is you open the chest, cue the shulker boxes you would like to open, and the system will automatically place them for you. And when you're done taking stuff out of or putting stuff into the shulker box, you can then right-click the note block and the system will automatically break it and place the next shulker in 8 game ticks from pressing the note block. It is possible to make that 6 or even 4 game ticks, but I'll explain why I didn't later on in the video. This specific design is 100% reliable for my testing, and with it you can go through all the shulkers faster than in my previous design due to the note block input, which has no delay rather than a button, which takes a little time to be unpressed. This design is also spam proof, as you can see. The only downside is the 2 extra game ticks the system takes to switch from one shulker to the next. Although 2 game ticks isn't that big of a deal, since it prevents one of the shulker box items when they are broken from landing on top and staying there if there's a shulker box here. That way it can't despawn if you leave a shulker box sitting here around this block. So the item would be up there, shulker box would be here, and you don't want it to despawn. So that's what this extra piston here is for, and what sets apart this design from my other system the most, aside from the note block input. The redstone behind the system is also really compact, and there isn't really that much to it. That goes for both systems, although the bigger system does have a little bit extra, but it's not that big of a deal. This system here gives you a storage capacity of over 300,000 items if you fill the system with shulker boxes, and every shulker box is filled completely with items. You also have access to all of these hoppers here that feed into the chest in case any of your shulker boxes that you would like to queue out are in those hoppers, and if they are, when you queue them out, they'll simply land in one of these hoppers here and be dispensed up here, just like all the other shulker boxes that are in this chest. Even if there's blocks right here, you can still access the hoppers, as you can see. And the gray shulker boxes that you see here can be used for storing dyes or shulker shells and chests, so that you can add more shulker boxes to the system of different colors. You can organize them, of course, by different colors, so that, like, if you want to find sugarcane and slime, you know that it's one of the lime green shulker boxes, and as you can see, when you search through all of the lime green shulker boxes, it should be pretty simple to find either sugarcane or slime. You can also store other items that you use frequently in the shulker box, like maybe ender pearls, food, rockets for elytra, and then there's an anvil here for renaming the shulker boxes, so it's easier to tell which one is which if you don't have the mod that I have that allows you to see what's inside the shulker boxes by pressing shift. That mod will be in the description below, and it is a client-side mod. And these items are just in here in no particular order. You can reorganize them if you'd like, as long as, like, this block right here is a chest of some sort, like an ender chest or a normal chest. That way, when the shulker box is broken, it won't glitch on top of the crafting table here, for example. Another cool thing about these systems is that you can put them into a wall and they look just fine. Over here, you can see the 3 double chest design and the 1 double chest design, as you can see. So the bulk system is also 5 wide tileable from this shulker box to these hoppers over here. So you can have this shulker box in a second system right about here. So you can fit them really close together, which is nice if you need to store a lot of stuff. And then of course you can expand the storage upwards. Not much more redstone would have to be added to this. You could just place the double chests up like this, and then more hoppers, and then increase the size of the dropper elevator. First, I'm going to be showing you how to build the single double chest design, and then I'm going to be showing you how to build the triple double chest design. For the single double chest design, you're going to need a certain building block of your choice, 6 hoppers, 5 redstone dust, 3 observers, 3 note blocks, 2 pistons, a redstone comparator, a dropper, a dispenser, and then 3 carpets if you'd like to cover the hoppers so they aren't visible, and 2 quartz stairs. They don't necessarily have to be quartz, I just am currently using quartz, and 2 chests, and then these are optional of course, but for my design that I have here, I'm going to be using 2 shulker boxes, a crafting table, an ender chest, and an anvil. Actually, you don't really need 6 hoppers, just if you want to have a 4 wide interface, although I just have it as 3 wide, so you can eliminate 1 hopper, and so that's less resources that you can use for building this. So this is going to be the platform that I'm going to be building on. This would be the floor of wherever you're building the storage system, and this would be the wall right here. And you're going to want to dig down 1 block back here to fit some redstone. And so let's begin. So the first step is you're going to get your dropper, and you're going to place it in the center of this back area right there with a dispenser on top of the dropper. And then you're going to break these 3 blocks here so you can replace them with hoppers. And then you're going to get your carpet. You're going to place it on top of the hoppers so you can't see them. This is optional, of course. And then I'm going to get the double chest here, place them like that, and then I'm going to get a hopper and place it facing, not into the dispenser, but into the double chest right here. So that is the general layout of the hoppers and inventories and such. And so now we're going to get into the redstone. So first you're going to get your comparator out, reading this dropper here, place it right there beneath that hopper, and you're going to right click it so that redstone torch thing on the end is on. Then you're going to place a block that it's facing into, then 2 redstone dusts there, an observer there, facing into a block with redstone dust on top. Then you're going to place a note block there, and a normal block right there. And then you're going to get out your quartz stair and place it like this. That way, when that note block is powered by the redstone dust, it will not make any sounds. And if you happen to have like an anvil right over here, which I'll place down over there, you can see it looks like a solid block back there, and so it works out fine. It can't be a solid block because then the redstone dust will power the pistons that'll be up here, as you can see, and we don't want that. So that has to be a non-solid block, and so I found that that works out fine. And also the edge of the stair here is good for when the piston extends and you can briefly see what's back there. It'll block out any of the redstone dust that would otherwise be visible. So now we're going to place some blocks back here so that the area where the shulker is broken is contained. And then I'm going to place the ender chest right there, the crafting table there, and 2 shulker boxes. Again, these are optional. I'll place them right there. And now I'm going to get the stair, place it like that. That way it blends nicely in with this upper part here. And then I'm going to place a stair right here. And so that way you can still open the chest, but when you look over here, it looks like a solid block there. And you actually will need 3 not necessarily quartz stairs, but 3 stairs in total. I realized, since there's one down there and then two like there. Now you're going to get another solid block, and you're going to place it there, and then up there, and then you're going to get a note block and place it right next to that shulker box, so that there's this 3x3, and that's at the top center. Now you're going to get an observer reading that note block and facing into a block. And then you're going to place a block here, a note block there, and a block right here. Then you're going to place 2 redstone dust so that when that observer fires, it'll power this redstone, which will power the note block, which will be read by the observer here, and it'll feed into the redstone dust there through that block that I just placed. And so now all the redstone should be finished, although now you can, of course, fill in the back area like this over here with solid blocks, and when these shulker boxes are open you can briefly see back here. So I'm just going to place some blocks like this so you can't see back here. And I'm also going to place some blocks around here, that way you can't see behind the chest that's there. And that should be everything. So that's the finished storage system, and if you'd like to test it out, you can simply throw in a shulker box. It should dispense like that, and then you right click the note block and it'll be sent into the system, of course. Or you can also just send your shulker boxes directly into the system like that. And now for the 3 double chest system that can store over 300,000 items. So for the 3 double chest design that can store over 300,000 items, you're going to need a block of your choice to build with, 11 hoppers, 6 chests, 5 redstone dust, 5 observers, 2 comparators, 3 droppers, 1 dispenser, 3 note blocks, 2 normal pistons, and 1 sticky piston. And also you're going to need 3 slabs and 1 stair, and then these are more optional blocks. You can use a shulker box, a crafting table, an anvil, and an ender chest surrounding the interface area. So this is the size of the layout for your storage area input, and so this would be the floor, and this here would be the wall. And so to start off, you're going to place a dropper right there with a dispenser on top, and you're going to use 5 hoppers, replacing these blocks with hoppers like so. That way they all feed into the bottom dropper. And now you're going to use a double chest, and you're going to put it right here. And then you're going to use 2 hoppers, and but first you're going to place 2 blocks there. That way you can make the hoppers face that way, and then they're going to be facing into a dropper right here, and then a dropper on top of that. And now you're going to place 2 more chests on top of this bottom chest, and then 2 more on top of that, like so. And so you're going to place your hoppers pointing into the double chests, and then 1 pointing into that top hopper right there. And so this will be the general layout for the inventories. And then of course you can place, I used 3 here. You're supposed to use 4 carpets right there. That way you don't have to see the hoppers. For the redstone, we're going to get our comparator, make it so that it's getting a signal from this bottom dropper, and we're going to right click it and place a block right there. So now that redstone torch on the comparator should be on, and it should be pointing into that block there. And so then we're going to get 2 redstone dust like so, and then an observer there reading that redstone dust, pointing into a block that has a redstone dust on top. And then you're going to use a note block here and a normal block here. And just like with the 1 double chest design, you're going to place a stair like so, and then we're going to use 2 pistons right on top of that stair. And that stair is not a solid block, of course, so that this note block makes no noise and it doesn't power these pistons here. Now we're going to place a wall of blocks there, and then 2 right there. That way we encase the area where the shulker box is being pushed into that hopper down there. And now we're going to get our crafting table like so. I'm going to place it there, and this is just the layout that I'm using, so you don't have to do it if you'd like. You can of course switch some things up, but I'm going to be placing an anvil here with a shulker box on top and my ender chest on top of that. And so the last but not least, we're going to be putting a note block between the top double chest and the ender chest there. This will be our input for the system, of course. We're going to place the observer right there, pointing into a block, and then we're going to place 2 blocks there, a note block there, and then an observer. We're going to place the note block there with an observer underneath the note block, and then a block beneath that observer. And now we're going to place a block on top of that note block and 2 redstone dust like so. This way, when the observer is, when the note block is right-clicked and the observer will detect it, the redstone dust will be powered, which will power this note block. The observer will turn on and power both the droppers, the dispenser, and of course the pistons here, because it's pointing into that block, and the redstone up here is powering the pistons as well. And so that is all the redstone for the standard system that we saw with a single double chest. And now we're going to be fixing up this dropper vader. So we're going to place a block here with a comparator on top. And now this is where we get our sticky piston out. We're going to place it like so with an observer facing out. So just like the comparator is sees the face there, if that made any sense. And then we're going to place an observer like so, so that the face is pointing outwards towards the sticky piston side. And this way, when the sticky piston faces up, the observers read each other, and then that's what powers the dropper vader and sends everything into the system. And so now, last but not least, we're going to place 2 slabs on top of the chests. That way you don't have to see much of the behind the scenes stuff from down here. And then 1 above the ender chest as well. We're going to place 2 blocks like so, less blocks visible as you can see. And then there's some blocks behind the observer, so we can cover that up as well. This is not required, but of course not doing so would mean that you would see behind some of the stuff, and so yeah, personally I prefer covering up the redstone and stuff so you don't see it. And so this way we can't see out from here, because as you can see, the player can obviously see back here. And so now if we do that, we can no longer see the redstone and stuff, or the outside, I should probably say. And so that should be most of it, although we can see a little bit down here. So I'm just going to cover that up, and then that as well. And so that should be the final step, and everything should be covered up. And so now we can test out the system, of course, by queuing a shulker box into the system, or we could just directly put the shulker box into the system like so. And now to break the shulker box, of course, right click the note block. It'll be sent up into the dropper vader, which will then go through the hoppers and into this bottom double chest right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you guys next time.